Karen called cops on a bar, but she was drunk, screaming, and hauled off instead. The neon sign above Rusty's bar flickered, casting a red glow over the cracked pavement where Karen stood, her voice a jagged blade slicing through the humid evening air. She was a storm in human form, blonde hair tangled, mascara streaking down her cheeks, a half-empty wine glass clutched in her trembling hand. "You can't treat me like this," she shrieked, her words slurring into a venomous tirade. The crowd outside the bar, a mix of locals and curious passersby, watched in stunned silence as she jabbed a finger at Mia, the bartender, a no-nonsense woman with a buzzcut and a leather vest. Mia stood her ground, arms crossed, her eyes burning with defiance. Karen had stormed into Rusty's an hour ago, demanding free drinks, hurling insults when refused, and now she'd escalated to calling the cops, claiming the bar was harassing her. The air crackled with tension. Karen's voice grew louder, a wild crescendo of accusations. "You're all criminals. I'm reporting this dump," she bellowed, swaying as she dialed 911. The crowd murmured, some rolling their eyes, others filming on their phones. Mia, unfazed, leaned against the bar's doorway, her voice low but cutting. "Lady, you're the one causing a scene. Go home." Karen's face twisted, her wine glass shattering on the ground as she lunged toward Mia, only to be held back by a burly regular named Tom. "Let me go!" she screamed, her voice raw with fury. Across the street, hidden in the shadows, stood Ellie, a quiet college student who worked part-time at Rusty's. She'd been watching the chaos unfold, her heart pounding. Ellie knew Karen not by name, but by reputation. Karen had been her mother's friend years ago, before addiction and bitterness consumed her. Ellie's hands shook as she gripped her phone, torn between stepping forward and staying invisible. She hadn't told anyone at the bar about her connection to Karen. And now, as the scene spiraled, she felt a strange pull to intervene. Sirens wailed in the distance, and the crowd's murmur grew into a buzz. 2 police officers arrived, their flashlights cutting through the twilight. Karen, emboldened, pointed at Mia. "Arrest her. She assaulted me." The lie hung heavy, and Mia's jaw tightened, but she didn't flinch. The officers, seasoned and skeptical, took one look at Karen swaying, slurring, her blouse stained with wine, and exchanged a glance. "Ma'am, calm down," one said, his voice firm. "We need your side, but you're not helping yourself." Karen's rage exploded. "You're siding with them? I'm the victim." She swung her purse wildly, nearly hitting an officer. The crowd gasped, and Tom stepped back, shaking his head. Ellie, still in the shadows, felt her stomach churn. She remembered Karen's kindness from years ago, bringing her cookies, laughing with her mom before the drinking took over. Now, this broken woman was a stranger, yet Ellie couldn't look away. The officers moved swiftly, one grabbing Karen's arm as she resisted, her screams echoing down the street. "You can't do this. I know my rights." But her words dissolved into sobs as they cuffed her, guiding her toward the patrol car. The crowd's mood shifted, some jeered, others whispered sympathetically. Mia, still stoic, muttered, "She did this to herself." Then came the twist. Ellie stepped forward, her voice barely audible. "Wait," she said, her eyes locked on Karen. The crowd turned, surprised. She's not always like this," Ellie stammered, her cheeks flushed. "She's sick. She needs help, not just handcuffs." The officers paused, one raising an eyebrow. Karen, momentarily stunned, stared at Ellie, her rage softening into confusion. Who are you?" she mumbled, her voice breaking. Ellie's heart sank. She hadn't expected Karen to forget her entirely. "I'm Ellie," she said softly. "You knew my mom." The revelation hung in the air, a quiet bombshell. Mia's tough exterior cracked, her eyes flickering with guilt. The crowd grew silent, the weight of Ellie's words sinking in. Karen's face crumpled, a mix of shame and recognition. "Ellie?" she whispered, as if grasping a fleeting memory. The officers, sensing the shift, loosened their grip but didn't release her. "We'll get her to the station," one said gently. She'll get a chance to sober up, maybe get help. As the patrol car drove away, Karen's silhouette slumped in the back seat, her screams replaced by quiet sobs. The crowd dispersed, some shaking their heads, others lost in thought. Mia approached Ellie, her voice softer now. "You didn't have to do that," she said. Ellie shrugged, her eyes wet. "Someone had to," she replied. "She's not just a drunk. She's human." The bar's neon sign buzzed faintly, the night settling back into its rhythm. But the scene lingered in everyone's minds, a collision of anger, misunderstanding, and fleeting redemption. Ellie's quiet courage had shifted the narrative, reminding them that even in chaos, there's a story beneath the surface. Karen, the woman who'd called the cops in a drunken fury, had become the one hauled off, but Ellie's words had planted a seed of empathy in the crowd. Hours later, as Rusty's bar dimmed its lights, Mia found Ellie sweeping the floor. "You okay?" Mia asked. Ellie nodded, though her eyes were distant. "I just hope she gets help," she said. Mia placed a hand on her shoulder. "You gave her a chance to be seen. That's more than most would do." The story of that night spread, whispered in bars and posted online. A tale of rage, redemption, and the messy humanity that binds us. Karen's fate remained uncertain. Would she seek help or spiral further? Ellie's quiet act of compassion had changed the lens through which the crowd saw her, but the question lingered. Where does justice lie when pain and anger collide? What do you think? Where's the line between accountability and compassion in a moment like this? Share your thoughts. Word count: 900.